assuming I'm a seller right now, okay, and I want to sell my property, and I don't have any equity. I mean, I know my mortgage balance is more than what I could sell my property for. I mean, what are my options right now?
Yeah, selling without equity right now in this market, Greg, is actually something that we've unfortunately had to deal with more now than probably any time in the past 20 years. The options, as if you're a seller in that spot where essentially you owe more than the market value will allow you to sell it for, are pretty straightforward. Now, how you choose to handle that situation is going to depend on everybody's individual situation. The first steps, obviously, if you owe $200,000 on a property, the market value says it's worth $150,000, then you market it conventionally and you sell it, bring an offer, and you write a check at the closing table. And many people think, I mean, they look at that and they say, are people actually doing that? And the answer is yes. We have a lot of clients who fortunately have the ability to bring the difference to the closing table and eliminate that property from their portfolio. If you don't have that ability financially to close that sale out, then one of the steps that you can look at is, do you have the ability to maintain that property long term? Maintain it either living there, maintain it possibly getting income from it and getting a tenant in there. But when people look at that scenario of maybe renting it, and I talk with a lot of people who are renting by default, they're landlords by default. They've put somebody in a property because they can't afford to sell it and they're waiting to see what happens with the market. And obviously the challenge is, a lot of us, what are you looking for? They don't really know what they need to get, but they're looking for something different. So if you're looking at a property that you can't sell conventionally, can't bring the check to the closing table, and you're not prepared to rent it long term, then short selling, depending on different scenarios, is one option that sellers are choosing. And essentially a short sale is where you are negotiating with the bank to take a lesser amount than the mortgage. And you have a couple parts to that process, and one is qualifying that the owner actually qualifies as a hardship in order to negotiate that mortgage down, and then the other part is to qualify that the value of the property when you get an offer is actually worth what the offer is. And it's an option for people. I would never make the suggestion that people should short sell or should hold their property. But again, it's a matter of information. And if you have the information in front of you on where the market's at, that'll give you a good indicator of kind of what direction that you may need to go.